So here's a virtual tour of B17, which is Mr. Dawes' social studies classroom. So you see as we come in, we have our desks spaced apart, we have our wipes and hand sanitizer in the front, and we have our sneeze guards on every desk that students sit in. Just wanted to give you an idea of where your students will be learning. So one thing I like to do every year is to introduce myself. I get to spend so much time with your children, so I figured it's good for everyone to know a little bit more about me. So my name is David Dawes. I teach social studies here at Valley View Middle School, and this is my 4th year teaching. What's really interesting though is that I was born and raised in Denville, so I went to Riverview, I went to Valley View, and I graduated from Morris Knolls. So Denville is someplace that's very close to my heart. My goal is to give the kids that I teach the same great experience that I had when I was in Valley View. So it's kind of come full circle for me, which is pretty cool. So in 8th grade, we start with a review of the end of 7th grade. So we start with the Constitution and the creation of U.S. government, and then we go on to Thomas Jefferson and American expansion, the age of Jackson, technology and American expansion, the Civil War, Reconstruction. We do 8th grade, they always do a project on presidential leadership, which takes up about a marking period of the year. And then we end the year with Holocaust and genocide. And again, mixed in there, we have plenty of current events, world issues, everything that's going on, because it's important for them to know what's going on around them. So homework will be given someone on a regular basis. My goal for their work in school is that they finish it in the time that they're allowed. And if for whatever reason that does not happen, then it's assigned homework. I'm not very big on just assigning an assignment for homework just because. I know that they have sports, they have siblings that have sports, the parents always have something to do. So if they have something for homework, it's just something that they need to finish from class. So for all of my classes for grading, I use a total point system. So every assignment has a point value, and then if at the end of the marking period there's 250 points and the student gets 225 points, that is a 90%. So there's no weights on the grades. It makes it very easy to understand. For extra help, this is something that I will encourage the students for as well. The biggest thing to me is that they feel comfortable in my classroom and with me. If they're stuck on something, I want them to raise their hand. I want them to ask, comment. So if they ever need extra help, I will come in early, I will stay late. We can have a separate Google Meet just to make sure that we clarify anything that they're struggling with or they don't understand, or if they need the directions again. That's something that's really important to me, that they fully know what they're doing and that they get it. So my classroom expectations are very simple. I really only have 2 rules. The first rule is that you be respectful to the other people in the class, the other adults in the class, the things in the class. And then the second rule, I think is most important, is that students be responsible. So I tell them I want them to own their failures as much as they own their successes. So when they succeed at something, they get an A on a test. They're the first ones to jump up and down and say, I did this. So my goal for all my students is to get them to do the same thing with their failures. If they miss an assignment, or they're late to class, or they turn something in late, I want them to just be honest with me and tell me, like, Mr. Dawes, I'm sorry. I'd much rather have that than them try to think of an excuse for why something isn't done or why they're late. I want them to start to own everything that they do. For extra credit, so the only way that you can get extra credit in my class is by doing some kind of community service hours. And I know that's a little bit harder this year, but the community is something that's so important to me, as because I grew up in Denville, I was raised here. So if they can donate clothes to somewhere, if they can donate toys, that old stuff that they don't play with anymore, or clothes that they don't wear, or if you do any volunteer hours, or if you volunteer at a church, or with a Boy Scout troop or anything like that. You can have someone sign a paper, you can take a picture and email it to me, you can just draft me a little email and send it, and then I'll make sure that they get a couple extra points added to their grade book. So one thing I want to make clear is that I know that these are strange times for everybody, mixing virtual with in-person, but just know that, this is new for all of us. It's new for your children, it's new for all the teachers, it's new for me, so I'm going to be as patient and as flexible as I can be. with everything. So, I know that the students are trying to learn through this, and just know that I'm also trying to learn through this, and we'll do the best that we can to get through it. So you're all on my website to obviously watch these back to school night videos. So below is where you'll see I post a homework every night. I try to keep it nice and easy and keep it on the front page of my website. So that is where you will find all the information regarding our classes, what's going on, what assignments they have, when it's due. So I just keep it right on the front main page of my website. And to access the syllabus for each grade, you can click on the side tab for 6th grade and 7th grade, and the syllabus will pop up there for you. One thing I wanted to touch on before the end of the video is that, so I only get to see your children for an hour in the mornings now. And once our virtual sessions start next week, I'll see them for an hour in the morning, and then the next day I'll see them for 25 minutes in the afternoon. And those 25 minutes it won't be new lessons, it will be a working period for your children. So they'll finish assignments that they had in class. They can ask me questions about the assignments. We may have some discussions about other things that are going on, but that is what those 25 minutes will be used for. And I just want to thank you all for, being flexible and helping us do our jobs to the best of our abilities. Take care.